the National Air Guitar Championships.
That sounds like an amazing thing to do.
It is.
Especially
I'm looking at.
We're live. Welcome.
Oh, hey,
my
are we
gosh. Wow, hello.
live?
Wow.
Yeah.
Be sure to not say that anymore.
Better late than never. Oh my god, I don't have a dice.
I thought I beat you for just a moment.
Dylan,
Never.
What?
Also, like,
be sure to
weirdly-
not say that
Stop.
anymore.
There we go. I was like, I'm
Oh,
also
I
like
think
weirdly like over to the left. But yes, it has been quite some time.
Hello.
Yeah.
By the
been-
way, Jade or our player Victor, or character Victor, player of Victor, will be here tonight. He is just unfortunately going to be here closer to 8:30, but we are good until then. As we now have to,
Yeah.
we should kind of recall times past. A fortnight ago, but does not require a second chapter.
I was waiting. I was like, which one? Which joke is he gonna do?
Yeah.
I just went to the dentist today, so I know how to floss.
Oh, thank God.
oh, that one hurt me. Like internally, I heard
You're
that,
welcome.
and it like
You're welcome.
it
I
hurt
heard-
me
I
in my chest.
I heard your ribcage just snap, Marshall, from this side of the world. From this far away down the street.
So
My laughter reached all the way to the far classist regions of Ninja's headquarters.
honestly, in terms of pure
Thanks,
action,
Mixer.
there wasn't much to be had in the last episode, as they were able to take a decent amount of time in order to kind of, I guess you could say, almost like recoup and discover the things that they would need going into into their next job, which is going to be coming up relatively shortly. Or at least, that was the plan. Until Kinder's arm fell off.
Sure did.
Just plopped down.
These things happen.
Yes.
Only to us.
Like he was a diseased man from the early 19th century.
Leprosy is hip and young.
But almost then Deadpool-like, except instead of a baby arm with a weird scaly baby arm, it seems as though a tiny nubbin has begun to form on Kinder's other arm,
I love it so much.
seemingly necessitating the need soon enough for a second oddly long sleeve. Or glove, I guess is a better word. Fortunately, with Gaius's astute learning in a previous assistance with his own father, he has actually somewhat learned of the fact that for some reason this does seem to be a trait that certain lizard folk that he has met can or at least have kind of had attributed to them. However, well, there's not much else for anybody to really question him on that, as the other two had zero idea. Or even three.
They just believed me.
He has become a reptoid.
Well, I would say you sounded like you knew. And for as far as you know, you do know, because you've seen it.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Well, exactly. So,
And by fake it, I mean do it.
oh,
Do it
Hey,
this is quick.
early.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Oh, the main cam is screwed up. That didn't get fixed from the new monitor system. No. Oh no. All right. Well, as I continue
Balls on stream.
while I continue the explanation here, you will see us in a weird configuration for a bit. Don't
It's
mind
fine.
it.
It wouldn't be a natural one RPG production if there wasn't technical difficulty. I find myself saying that a lot more these last
This
weeks.
this is an unfortunate side effect to the fact that we really haven't had a full group in quite some time.
That's
It's a
true.
benefit.
Oh my
so,
god.
I haven't
Busy
been able
October.
to set this up with the new monitor set as a result. But hey, that happens. However, yes.
Yes. Hello.
So you guys were kind of as a result of somewhat recoup yourselves. You had gone to a tavern in order to
Correct.
essentially kind of get your bearings,
Correct.
kind of think about what to do next. Hence where Gaius kind of recollected his previous dealings with the lizard folk and people with similar traits that Kinder is exhibiting. Though there is not total answers to be had.
That would be too easy.
Ah, yes. As you guys began to attempt to head back, you started to kind of head home and attempting to figure things out as suddenly there was the questioning of a kobold in the house. Oops. Okay, hold on. Nope. Come back to me, video capture.
I found out the bad thing about having so much dice.
Yes.
You can't find the ones you need.
Correct. Very true statement. All right. Okay, we get that.
The dice that I
Nope, that ain't
need.
Which picture are you?
She says she's just a friend.
Which picture are you? Here we go. All right, I just need to move this image over here. And what? Bam! All right.
He just needs to mute us so we
So-
don't get copyright.
He's gonna come over here.
So you guys kind of all of a sudden the main servant kind of comes out of as you guys start to kind of enter in. The main servant kind of comes in behind you, holding Tix. It's just kind of like, why is this following you?
Do we know the main servant's name?
You do not. Well, Victor does. And Koo, you would as well.
What's his name?
His name is Travis Willingham.
What?
Okay.
That's his name.
His name is Travis Willingham?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Roy Mustang, Travis, he's with us.
That is only an unfortunate coincidence that I now realize.
That you
I'll be honest. When
Thought
I
of
came up with the
now.
name, when I came up with the name, I was like, that sounds okay.
Little did you know your subconscious was
Yeah,
at
it was
work.
entirely subconscious. I did not think about that at all.
Big Daddy Willingham. Travis, he's with us. He's a welcome part of whatever we are.
That's a good way of putting it.
I'm not inherently sure how here Victor is at the moment. Can you give me a sign? I'll take this as a sign of no. Kind of looks at Victor. I had hoped you would keep better company. Kind of looks at Tix. Tix kind of squints back at him. Kind of does the open gaped like possum thing again, where he's just kind of like
Yeah.
no noises, but just like
Just a silent scram.
as he goes, I will make sure Bertha washes him clean so that he does not ruin the home.
That sounds like a great idea.
I'm sure he will appreciate Tix. You'll behave, right?
Do not worry. Bertha makes sure that everybody behaves. You're aware of Bertha Q. She is a
Because she's a
very
mind
strong dwarven woman.
Right.
Who, when they were much younger, was a very convenient handmaiden around the house for trying to wrangle 2 children up.
Right. I find the irony of my life being surrounded by powerful women that can kill me. Yes. Yeah, she will.
Come with me. As he doesn't let him go, he just continues to hold him and walks out.
I mutter a silent prayer to Titherian for Tix. That's how bad I feel for him.
As
Nope. Oop.
switch back.
Where is this die? I swear to God.
Is there another? Let's fix that.
Thank
All right, cool. As you'll kind of suddenly hear like a as
It's like out of a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
as Emily will come racing up to you, Kinder.
Oh, no. Why me?
What? Why? Why is there an arm? Why? What is this? She's like finagling.
Oh, right,
your,
yeah, that's
your
my-
sleeve.
Um,
What happened?
So she's got the old arm in her hands, or is she like what?
No,
None of you grabbed the old arm.
No, the old arm dissolved into dust.
Yes, correct.
That's
actually.
what. Yeah.
But no,
it's
she's.
all-
But your sleeve is still there. Like you're
Yeah,
empty.
sleeve's
Like
still sleeving.
you know.
Yeah.
So she's like fuddling with that. Like
I know, ma'am. I know it's a lot to take in. I was pretty freaked out as well. But basically, the long and short of it is, I had arm gone now.
how?
I don't know.
Were you in a fight? Have you been
I
getting
thought
into
it-
trouble? And she points right to Victor.
I don't know. I thought it might be, something Gaius knew about, but he was actually in the library, which
I thought
pretty-
you were gonna blame Gaius right then and
was a
there.
surprise.
Well, what? Did you make somebody mad? Did they cut your arm off?
No, nobody
No.
cut my arm off, or if they did, they were extremely gentle about it, because I didn't feel it at all.
Aunt Emily, we don't really have an answer to this. It just sort of, I can attest, it kind of just.
Well, I'm
Fell
gonna have
off.
an answer to this. And she grabs you by the ear, Kinder,
Yeah.
Ow, ow,
and
ow!
you start going down the hallway she came
Wait,
from.
why?
I just wave bye to Kinder. I know he's lost. I just lean into Gaius. I've been there. It's not a fun place to be.
No,
No.
As we'll
I
get back to
wish
you in
him
a
all
minute,
the best.
Kinder.
He might not be. He might be part of our party.
I show up as a completely new character. Hey, what's up, guys?
There you go.
Hey guys, what's up? My name
So
is
anyway.
Kinder Alpha.
Kinder Alpha.
Kinder Alpha. Kinder
Hi, I'm
Bonita has just run
K2SO.
away.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So you 3 are just kind of left in the main atrium here.
You know, sleep sounds real nice right now.
I would also enjoy to sleep.
Yes. Guys, I feel like. No, you've been in here. Yes. I don't know why you haven't been here. Player knowledge is in the way of character knowledge. Off table, I feel like
I mean, he was here
Bennett,
yesterday.
you've never been in. You yourself have never experienced being inside the palace or the manor.
Correct. Yes.
No, I have not.
Bennett, the player, has yes, unfortunately, not had the experience yet until now.
That's true. Okay. Back on table. Yeah. Let's go into our rooms here. I'll show you, even though you definitely know.
Oh yeah, please. I would love to be
I mean,
showed
you don't
again.
have to fake that part.
I'd love to be showed to my rooms.
On the plus side, Gaius can know where his room is still, even without him knowing as a player. He doesn't
But
have
it makes him feel important.
like Bennett doesn't have to guide him down any pathways. All right, so you both head to your own rooms then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Victor will head to his as well.
Silently as per usual.
So guys,
Yes.
now you have so actually one thing
Oh shit.
As you guys as I kind of alluded to in the last episode or near the end of the last episode or something, and I want to note this now, we will be getting to points where you will kind of get some downtime.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, Dylan, yours will actually be slightly less than the others.
Oh, okay.
But don't worry about it fully. So you guys will but yes, as you go into your room, you kind of notice that there's a little more of like a minimalistic vibe in your room. I haven't been able to give you this description, so there's more of a minimalistic vibe in this room. Granted, I guess you don't know, maybe all the rooms are like this. You haven't visited anybody since you've been here, but in terms of compared to Jet's office, and I forgot to change something. Compared to Jet's office and the rest of the household, yeah, it does feel as though there is a significant amount less in this room. While not terrible, obviously, not a whole lot to do inside of it. So it's kind of beholden on really finding either finding your own entertainment potentially around the rest of the house if you're going to do anything but really just sleep here, or for your
Gotcha.
case, meditate or trance.
Yes, that is what I do. So there's nothing really interesting in the room.
Not too much. Like there really isn't any books. There's a couple like decor items where there's like one painting. There's some flower pots.
Could I smell the flowers?
Yes, they
Okay.
appear to be daffodils.
Daffodils. I want to see. Hold up. No, I don't think I have anything. I'm gonna pick a flower and put it in my bag, anyways.
All right, pick a flower, put it in your bag.
Oh, what was the maid's name at Thunder Hammer? I can't remember anything's name.
Well, there's Maria and Tia.
Maria.
Maria
Yeah.
being the one that is primarily your kind of
Yeah.
like.
This one's for her. This one's for her. Oh,
This one's for her.
it is.
My life for Maria.
He's got a picture. He's going with her.
All right, I'm back.
Maria,
Hey,
count him in.
Hey,
we're at your house. We're destroying everything. Your mom has Kinder, and we are afraid for his life. So
Yes,
he's alive.
your butler, Mr. Willingham, has taken Tix to be cleaned by Bertha, the head maiden of the household, with her firm hands.
And my house is awesome.
Quite. But no, so as far as I know, you've headed towards your room, but if you would like to do anything else, that'll inevitably be up to you for the evening. Otherwise, you can get ready for bed, as it is a little bit later at this point.
Could I go check out the kitchen?
Sure. It actually isn't like a bustling kitchen, since there's not many people in the house. It's just it
Yeah, I just want
like
to look in the pantry and stuff.
Yeah, it seems to be at least a decently equipped room.
Is there like any sweets around?
Yeah, actually, there you'll be able to see a jar with what essentially look to be cookies.
I'm gonna take a
Don't
couple.
steal
Of
my
those.
sweet roll. I'll get the guards on you.
I'm gonna take a couple of those cookies,
Not the sweet roll.
and I'm gonna eat one and bring the rest back to my room.
All right, cool. I want you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. I'll just roll it out of here. Okay, that doesn't. I will actually roll this. 19.
You feel a wave of exhaustion slightly. Feel like it's about to hit you. You kind of shake it off and keep yourself awake.
I look around quick. Do I notice anything weird?
No.
Because this is like the second time that's happened. Or like, well, I feel like some weird.
Yeah, I mean, the last time it felt like something was getting into your mind. This felt like a wave of like tiredness.
Oh, like I was just really tired. Okay.
Yeah, this was more like.
I didn't know if it was like something was doing it to me.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's more like that. Yeah, just like.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Okay. Oh boy. I'd like stumble back eating cookies. Stumble back to my room, and I'm gonna like take a rest.
Do you get any more of the cookies?
Oh yeah, I eat one more on the way, and then I save one for in my room.
Okay, make me another Constitution saving.
Oh God.
For the second.
That's a natural one.
Yay! Let's go.
I came back at the right time.
Oh, oops! I may have accidentally hit the Steam button.
Oh no!
I hit my Steam
Quick,
icon.
download all the updates.
We need. Sorry, viewers. No overlay. Stop blocking. No. Steam,
Oh no!
Steam overlay. Get out of here. All right.
And
I couldn't close Steam because like the notifications were blocking my task tray. Okay, here, let's get to here. I just wasn't expecting to pull it up so soon. Also here, let's get to need to get that going. Let's see. Let's get to see. All right. Roll me your.
Here goes.
Oops.
It's a 14.
A 14.
That's pretty low.
Oh no.
I mean, that inherently means nothing.
That's true.
Oh.
As you're going by, for a moment, you look about. You kind of turn to your right, and it looks like a snake is about to jump at you.
What? What? Why is that here?
It startles you so much, you fall unconscious.
Oh my God. Drop all my cookies, just pass out.
Ku and Victor, you hear a scream down the hallway.
A viper's just like gnawing on my face.
It's like a giant one.
Sounds like Dad got himself
It's a
away.
normal size. It was just going through your feet. Just like,
Or that, or it's like a giant like anaconda, and I'm like halfway into its mouth.
Oh, don't worry. It don't want none. You ain't got buns, huh?
oh my God!
I just poked my head out.
I'm used to screams. I'm laying in bed.
You're in the right side. You're in the correct wing. So you see Gaius on the ground. A number of crumbs around him.
With my hand over my head, like.
I'm like, Gaius?
No response.
No, yeah, Nate does not respond. ...
You dead? ...
Yeah, no response.
Guys, if you don't want me to go over there and make sure you're right, don't say anything.
No response. It's just a corpse.
I go with the guys and I see if he's all right.
As you kind of bend down, look in his direction, he definitely doesn't seem conscious. Suddenly behind you, you hear this is why you don't go in the cookie jar.
Starting up.
As you'll see Jet behind you.
Jet, what is he doing there?
Just watching
Yeah.
you get attacked.
Yeah. I guess he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
That he did.
Is he
It's a tricky one.
paralyzed or is he?
No, it's just unconscious. It just puts you to sleep. So on the plus side, it's unconscious
Why
in
do
a
you
way
have
that will
cookies?
still allow him to get a good night's sleep.
That's fair. Did I fix my mic real quick? Uncle, does this mean I have to carry him back to his room?
Puts his hand on your shoulder.
Just leave him there.
In a way, that's up to you. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to do it. As he begins to walk away towards his wing of the manor.
And that's a
I'm so
promise.
proud.
I,
Ooh,
I,
that
look,
was much louder than I wanted it to be.
I look down at Gaius. You're lucky I'm a nice guy. And I put him in the fireman carry and take him to what I assume his room is.
I put
I
him
don't
in the
know.
Cobra Clutch.
I just put him in the first room I find.
You at least are aware of which room is his.
Okay.
As you'll get over to that side of the hall. Now, are you just going to be heading back to your room then afterwards, Koo?
Yes, I'll head back to I'll head back to the room.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Kinder. Your
I'll
ear
wave
hurts.
with his hand.
Like your ear hurts quite
Yeah?
a bit.
Yeah. I got the Van Gogh treatment.
As you are being dragged down the hallway, it's interesting. This part of the manor, it intriguingly becomes less and less like eclectic and way more like arcana like, you know, like like there's almost a pure. It's almost like It's almost like transforming into another realm. As you are burst into a room which looks weirdly like a number of medicine man's offices.
Okay.
As you're kind of slumped into a or kind of pushed into a semi-raised chair. Okay. Now, more clearly, as she like starts rolling up your sleeve, what? Describe to me what happened and why is there a tiny arm with scales? Answer the first part.
Okay. Well. Let me get my accent back. Okay, there it is. Well, we were in the market, and we were speaking with a very lovely shopkeep, actually. And then we went outside, and then my arm fell off. And I know that seems like not a lot of information, but I promise that is pretty much as accurate as you can get. It fell off, and it didn't stay around either. It kind of disintegrated, like it broke down into dust and like drifted away before we could really, grab it to try to put it back on.
She kind of has these semi-bigger like pokers. I mean, you could mistake them for like knitting tools. As she kind of pokes
Oh, good. She's gonna crochet
at the
a new arm
little
on me.
the little arm. It kind of hurts. It feels like getting poked by a knitting needle.
Sadly, I know what that feels like. So okay.
Yeah. As I'm presuming, your arm will kind of.
I mean, yeah, it's
flinch.
probably gonna twitch a little bit.
Interesting. And now let's see. So then, your other arm.
Well, yeah.
She'll
What
kind
about
of
it?
pull the glove off.
I instinctively pull the hand away from her.
I'm not gonna get any answers with you trying to be all be all coy.
I mean, you've
Now
got
off
a
with the
point,
glove.
ma'am, but I don't know if you noticed.
And your
the left
shirts.
arm is in
And your
fact still
pants.
attached.
And the underwear. But keep the socks on.
Not necessarily in that order.
Yes, I'm aware your
Ma'am.
other arm is still
Ma'am.
attached.
I'd be more than happy to take the hat off if you'd like, if that's more your thing. But
You're getting the
The
glove
hat
off,
stays
or
on.
I'm taking the
Rather
glove
leave the
off
glove
for
on.
you.
okay,
And you don't want me to be the one to take that glove off at this point.
okay, just promise that you're not gonna get too freaked out about it, and I'll take it off for you.
All right, as he lifts the glove off, her eyes kind of
Take
widen a bit.
unlatch it,
Yeah.
take the glove off, reveal the hand.
Yeah, so their eyes will kind of widen up, but then almost kind of immediately as they widen, they kind of furrow, and as she then kind of repokes up the needle, but she doesn't seem to go for the same like poking position, as she kind of just seems to run it along gently, like up parts of your arm. It's almost kind of like bounces on some of the scales.
Hmm.
Fascinating. So how long have you had this condition?
To be honest, ma'am, it's been a few years at least. I was still living at home when it first started to appear. I hadn't joined the guild yet or anything like that. But once it did start happening, I assumed that it must have some sort of connection to something outside of my town. I felt like the right choice to make was to leave and see if I could figure it out.
Fascinating. And so now she kind of starts then now take the needle going down the other direction. She almost kind of starts to lift the scale. It starts to kind of that it feels like something like,
She trying to like peel the scale off?
not real, kind of, she's like poking underneath it.
Ugh.
She's seeing the reaction she can get from you partly as
Ew.
the moment the needle
Gross.
starts going under there, it's like, it feels like, a pencil digging under your nail.
Man,
Ew.
it doesn't feel very good.
As your arm very kind of
Yeah, I'm like pulling back a little bit,
okay, fascinating. It's not any type of like dead nerve ending on the top. It's not a layer, essentially. Fascinating. So it began appearing, but now did this arm fall off, or did it just start growing? Because the way you described it, it made it sound like it just grew.
Oh, you mean the left hand?
Yes, your current full arm here.
Yes. No, this one didn't fall off at all, ma'am. It just started to grow the scales in over time. It started at the tips of the fingers and then kind of I guess it's kind of been working its way up towards the base of the shoulder.
Let's see. Well, based on the rate, however, even through a couple years, it appears, I imagine, if it would have started a couple years ago, if it was, I guess from here to now, it's either incredibly slow or at some point it likely, I'm presuming it stopped at some point. When did you notice it stopped growing? Oops. Oh, there we go.
I guess the rate at which it has grown, it's slow enough that it's kind of hard for me to say if it really has stopped growing, but I mean it certainly does seem to have decelerated.
Yeah, you
about
kind of recall that like it somewhat seemed to start. It really kind of. You haven't seen it go much farther in like a good 6 months.
Yeah. I don't know why it's no longer growing any further. I'm happy for it, You can only get gloves that are so long.
Well,
But it's I don't know. I just don't really have any answers for it yet.
Now, well, there are a number of things I can do to figure it out. On the plus side, due to the fact that I was good friends with a physician for many years, I have some solutions to potentially find something out. You're probably not going to be super excited about either of them, but they will give you. I strongly believe they will yield some type of results. Unfortunately, it's going to require me to do two things. As she'll kind of walk over into a drawer. You kind of see her pull out a box. As you will see her kind of pull out a semi-decent sized syringe. Now, as she'll kind of hover her hand over it, and it will kind of become the shimmer will kind of be a little brighter. It seems almost like she has cleaned it. Unfortunately, it's going to require this, and I am going to need you to disrobe.
Called it.
Now, don't worry. I have no nefarious intentions. Mostly, I just need to examine if you have any marks on your person. If you wish to keep
What sort of marks?
Any arcanic ones that potential bloodline marks.
Do you mean like sigils or like ritual markings?
Not always ritual markings, but yeah, like a sigil and things like that. They may not always appear, but it depends. Based on the fact that it's only been a few years, it might be one may have appeared in a place that is hard for you to see. Now, granted, you can keep your bridges on you. I do not need that one.
Oh, okay. Understood. All right, and then all together now, I take off my robe and wizard hat. Okay, we did the joke. We're good.
You have taken off the jacket, but
I take off my robe.
You are still, but the pants, however,
they're staying on.
That they are not.
They're staying on. I will ready firebolt.
Kendra, unless you were going commando, you were really harming more than you were helping.
Fine.
Take it off.
Like I said, I've studied a long time along with my physician friends. Think of this morally as an examination.
Ignore the camera and the black couch.
Arguably, it can't be much worse than what you faced when you started at the academy.
Weirdly enough, I don't remember much of that, but I suppose you're right.
All right. Now, you might feel a slight pinch as Kinder, you take 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
As very achingly, you feel like you could potentially have gotten stabbed by something. Like it has equal pain levels to you have getting stabbed by a knife by like a commoner.
Great.
A commoner.
Well, think of a commoner as somebody that likely has something like
street
a
rat.
+0 to strength. Or like an average strength score. Hence the 1 damage. But yes, so it kind of feels about to the lower back. And she goes, okay, I'll be able to study this more later. As you kind of feel, every now and then you can kind of feel her hands kind of hover over parts of your body as you also feel like a warm glow behind it, like in front of it. Like it's almost like it feels almost like there's like a cushion between her hand and you. Like you'd think that she would have some type of like cushioned glove on almost. Interesting. So now you haven't noticed any markings, I presume, over time, like nothing has appeared.
No, not any of those particular markings.
Sometimes it can be hard in places that you don't get to see, especially mirrors are such a luxury. That's why I'm checking your back first. But I also will, the reason I require this is also because I need to check the back of your, around where your hamstring is. As she'll kind of continue, you kind of feel the arm go down. You'll feel it on the sides of your arm as well. You kind of feel like obviously, she starts going down the right arm, stops much sooner than the left arm.
Yeah.
You hear a brief ada coming from behind you.
As she'll kind of get near the back of your, essentially the backside of your thigh.
Okay.
As you kind of here we go. Fascinating. It's now she stopped.
I don't blame her. My calves are ripped.
He's dummy thick.
He keeps alerting the guards. As she'll kind of move away or kind of lean up for a moment, you'll kind of hear grab something as she starts to kind of try and draw something down. Oh, dang. It's going to take me a while to try to get back into that then. Something is hidden in you. I started to see some type of marker on the back here. But it went away. The moment I tried to draw it, and I can't remember enough of it. There was part of it was arched, but I do not fully know. Hopefully your blood will give me more answers, as I believe this is hidden in your blood somewhere. You can redress yourself, and then you can head on out back to your room.
I put on my robe and wizard hat.
Well, now you can put on your pants.
And the pants.
Pants stay off.
Look, it's an old meme, but it checks out.
As you, you'll kind of see her, take the syringe kind of towards a kind of large beaker. I understand this seemed a little barbaric, but there's not much in terms of testing blood while it's in your body. And I feel like the only thing I can do to try to research this is to, well, especially since I'm not planning on keeping you here for an extended period of time, to just draw it from you directly. But otherwise, if I hopefully maybe come through a breakthrough, maybe I'll have an answer before you leave. Otherwise,
Put that
I will
stick it in the maple tree and start.
Once I get a solution, I will try to get a message to you whenever. If you have gone out to on your mission, then I will just await your return. But otherwise, hopefully I can maybe come with a breakthrough before you leave. Though I heard the packing has gone ahead of schedule, so you may be leaving a day sooner than expected.
Hmm.
But otherwise, get yourself to bed. I appreciate your cooperation, and I hope to be able to maybe find an answer to this.
Ada.
I was like, are you just kind of staring at her then? Or-
Nah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
2 quick questions. Firstly, do you think it's possible that dragons have a regenerative property to them, kind of similar to like smaller lizards, how they can lose appendages and grow them back as a defense mechanism?
Unfortunately, I don't have much of that answer, and that's not something I've ever really heard of. What I feel more is that it's more of, I feel like if I had to go off of a base theory at the moment, well, yes, part of my first answer would be lizard-like. Upon examining your scales, they do closely match that of a dragon scale. That of which I have been able to see in my time. But unfortunately, yes, I do not recall, but if it was some type of transformative factor, so rather, your arm did not regenerate in that it instead began to transform, and your body rejected the human part. However, that is only based on an observational theory. I have little else to go on.
My second question. Who else's blood have you obtained?
Oh, not much. On the plus side, I have not done much testing outside of my, when I worked with my physician friend, who obviously has had to deal with blood on a relatively regular basis as potential, testings and whatnot for trying to deal with more understand diseases, given that not everybody has access to things like paladins and holy men that are able to cure them, especially more in the wider country areas. So getting a better understanding of how these things maybe come about is a better solution. So yes, I've been a part of this a few times. Otherwise, the only other time I have done this is really only to my own daughter, without the physician. Mostly because he wasn't able to come in at the time.
Was she exhibiting symptoms like me? Or was it something else?
In a way, not dragon though. More fiendish-like traits. But it was stranger in a way. Honestly, right now in a way you're creating a beneficial distraction. As I hit a dead end in that research for years now. But this is new. I've definitely never heard of this before, and potentially maybe I can get a message out there and see if my friend has seen anything like this before. But otherwise, it's nothing I know offhand. But there is more research to be done.
Okay.
But
Well.
I assure you, I will make it my top priority.
Okay.
As you are Victor's friend and partner in his group, and therefore it is also my best interest to make sure that you are able to be in full form as you can be.
Well, all that being said, I think I'm ready to call it a night.
Yes, you should.
Take care, Miss Tori.
Good night, Kinder.
So yeah, Kinder's gonna leave the room, and once he's outside and like out of sight or her being able to hear him at all, he kind of just like
Did you redress?
leans
Yes.
against the wall for a moment and takes his hat off, and he's just like, his mind is like racing, just like considering all these possibilities and options of what might be going on and what just happened, and then he kind of calms himself down a little bit and goes back to his room.
All right. Now, as you head back, you all begin to rest. It seemed like part of my presumption was actually incorrect. I think you'll be just fine, Kinder. So each of you, now I kind of denoted before, at least near the end of the last session, in that I don't remember the exact amount of time I think I was going to give you, but essentially you will be able to add 1 day's worth of downtime to any which thing that you have been working on or something new.
All right.
So, which obviously
so,
means you can go into the city if you want. You can do something. You don't have to do the thing you've been doing. Is everybody with me?
Is everybody with you?
Sorry.
Is the soundboard engaged?
Well, I would have still learned some magic with Kinder.
Yeah, we were gonna do swap for swap.
Yep.
Yes.
And I was going to teach him how to actually throw his boomerang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm running laps.
He has
Oh.
a need for speed.
Here, actually, Kinder, roll me a d20.
Okay. 19.
Ooh.
All right. So despite the kind of impending distraction, you're able to at least get your mind off of it while kind of working with Ku. So it doesn't actually seem to bog your mind down too much at all.
All right, buddy.
As
It's work.
Gaius and Victor, what are you planning on doing with your downtime?
I'm gonna keep working towards the thing I'm working towards.
Okay.
Hard like that.
Anything
Mhm.
else, Gaius?
Let it fly out.
I don't know if you've ever gotten to establish what you plan to do with your downtime.
Hey, there it goes.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm
Oh, God,
trying
it's coming back. Duck, duck, duck.
I think I believe it kind of told you guys to put it somewhere in like your character notes. So
Yeah, I don't think I wrote that down.
well, you may not have been around for it. So
Yeah,
it partly then just comes to the I think maybe you hadn't chosen what you were going to do with your downtime off session.
well, I was originally thinking of looking more into Ku's problems, but you know,
You can.
My problems?
or not Ku, sorry, Kinder. They both start with K.
Coup
So.
support group.
You can. You could potentially.
Yeah, I was originally thinking that like after it last started, just because like I felt like I had some of the most knowledge about it.
Yeah, you could look into that.
I would love to do that.
So I guess do you potentially now what is your innate plan? Like, do you attempt to go try to talk to Emily about it at all, or do you just like see if you can try your hand at the library again?
Gaius, I think, would probably go to the library.
As you head up You see as you inevitably will get there, as the three of them at least are working on something else. So, as you will inevitably get to the library, you see a familiar face.
Hello. Familiar face.
This would be the guard, Stephen. The one
Oh,
who let you in.
Steven! Buddy! Hello.
Oh no.
I'm back again. With another problem.
It's nowhere near the end of my shift. I can't.
So this time, my friend might be a lizard. What do you have on that? Anything, you know?
This is either incredibly racist or something that I don't know about at all.
I can promise you there is no racism involved with this inquiry at all.
He's actually a high-ranking member of the government, and I'm trying to keep it low.
Is there any sections about like lizard folk or anything about their history, etymology?
I don't know too much.
Steven, we both know that you know plenty.
I don't know. I know it's hard. I first of all, I don't have every book in this library memorized.
Well,
Here,
then why
guard
are
it.
you working here? I'm sorry.
I'm not the librarian. Why have you come to me with this recommendation? I just help students find places, so I know general locations of topics.
Would you happen to know the general location of this topic?
Your topic's a little broad, unfortunately. This
Just
again
the
is a
list?
better question for the librarian.
Okay, well, if you could point me in the direction, I would be more than happy to wander on over there. I just figured, since we're both such good friends and all,
He just points right behind you at the desk.
right that way through the restriction section. And thank you for the go-ahead. And start walking there. No, I will head on over to the librarian.
Yes, so as you get to the counter, this actually seems to be a different person from yesterday. You kind of see a
Good.
gnomish woman. Ah,
Oh no.
how can I help you?
Hello. I am looking for, any books you might have on the lizard folk. Their history, their biology.
It's a strange thing. We don't actually keep too much. Are you a student?
Yes.
Well, if you show your card to the guard there, you'll be able to, inevitably I can tell him which section, but let me check the records as to what books I believe you would have over there.
Oh yeah.
That you
Yes,
kind
please
of
do that
pull up a
before.
kind of big,
That would be great if
kind
you
of
could
a
check
larger
that.
book.
If you could check that before I have to show my card.
Kind of gives you a weird side eye. Just kind of.
I didn't say that out loud, did I? Ooh.
As she'll kind of flip through. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Well, let's see. Near the area. Looks like we have a couple books on lizard folk. It's nearby there's sections that we keep on dragons, but that section just got riddled overnight.
Riddled.
Oh yeah, every now and then, I guess you can say we maybe pull a favor or two for Mrs. Tori.
Who's
she-
Mrs. Tori again?
You're not from around here, are you?
No, just midterms got the brain on the fritz. Can't remember a lot of things.
Well, yes. So, the Tory families, the ones that involve the banking system and everything.
Oh, of course, the Tories. How could I forget?
Yes,
They
well,
just took all the books on them, though?
no. Well, if you're looking for lizard folk, we don't keep too many. They're kind of there's one biological book on them nearby a certain dragonborn ones, though that one also got just eliminated overnight. So on the plus side, it's relatively easy to find the lizard folk book, as the number of books about dragons are pretty much removed from the nearby area.
Oh, okay. Well, if you could point me in the direction, I would, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually not too much farther behind the restricted area. It's and once you show them your card, it'll actually just kind of be to your immediate left, and then the shelving unit is the one with both sections in them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And then I walk away, right on back up to Kevin.
Kevin.
What was your name again? Best friend buddy of mine.
I don't even know if I want to give you my name anymore.
It was Brett.
Brett? Kyle.
In my notes, it says Brett. I'm not
I'm
sure.
feeling a Kyle.
It was the
I
same
know
guy.
the name, but I don't
There was a
want to
Brett.
say it because I
It was a
want to
different
continue the joke.
I am mistaken then.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to need just one little look back there. Really, not a big deal. Just going to just walk right on in. Aren't we all students of knowledge anyways? Every day we go forth in the
What do you
pursuit.
need this book for? I can't imagine some type of lizard folk book is something you can quickly skim through.
Well, I might need to do that because my friend's arm might have fallen off. Might be covered in scales. He might be part lizard. We just, it was a
I
little freaky.
definitely no longer am willing to wish to let you back there anymore.
Kevin, I thought we were friends. Did you forget what I did for you yesterday?
My name
Because
isn't
I
Kevin.
do. Kyle, I don't know how many times we have to go over this, but I really need to get back there to reattach my friend's arm. And, knowledge is knowledge is power, as they say.
Get out.
Is there any other entrance that I can see into there?
Not from at least not as far as you know from here.
Okay.
You'd have to do some snooping.
Kevin, I hope I can see you again under better circumstances. And then I walk around and I start to do some looking for an entrance into there.
Make me a perception roll.
That's a 15.
So you're able to see, it looks like if you could get access to the kind of rickety, balcony, scaffolding that they've kind of created for the windows, or the window work, you could potentially get into the ladder that would get you into the right area.
Ooh, interesting.
Correct.
I would love to look into that a little bit more.
Let's see. There's no ladders from inside of this building.
It's on the outside.
Well, that's something for you to find out.
Okay. Could I go investigate that?
You can, in fact, go outside. Yes.
I would love to go outside and look for a ladder onto the scaffolding.
You do see actually a ladder kind of heading up there as a human, assuming a human man is kind of helping put into place pieces of stained glass.
Okay. I walk up and I'm like, "Hey, Bell, the higher up sent me to take over for you on the putting in the new glass."
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Oh, my dice are all the way across the room.
I've been on mute this entire time.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's see. I guess roll me a deception check.
Okay. Say 15.
He will kind of look down to you. Hey, kid, get lost. All right, I'm busy up here.
Get lost. But I want to do your work for you. I was told to come down here.
Why did you get to like the Brooklyn accent?
Because I'm trying to. Because I'm trying to be a construction worker.
And they all have Brooklyn accent.
Hey, yo, I'm on my break over here.
Stop distracting me, all right? Before I'll get the guards to take you away.
Before I get the gun.
You know, I heard there's a really good sandwich shop down the corner over there. Billy G at the office just told me, said they make a really mean bacon, lettuce, and tomato. It's a new type of sandwich. I don't know if you heard about it.
It's kind of another guy will kind of come up to you. What? Hey! Stop pestering my employees. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Who are you?
I'm the site manager. Now get out of here. All right. I don't need students heckling my employees.
Fine. Okay.
I bet this guy's not following OSHA regulations.
Yeah. Do I notice anything off about the the work site?
Can't help but notice you're not wearing your harnesses.
Based on your lack of knowledge about construction, you have no idea.
Oh darn. Do I know? Did I see any other way to get in besides the scaffolding?
No, but at least that doesn't look like out here. The not managed for kind of ladders going into open windows.
Okay, so that guy was the site manager, right?
As far as he told you.
Do you have any proof or identification on you that you are in fact the site manager and you're not just a student trying to get me to go away?
I've got enough certification to get the guards to come here to take you back. All right, now get along.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I could work in a gift of gab. That's just to make someone forget stuff.
I was to say, unfortunately, there's one thing potentially you're missing in that.
Yeah. Okay.
As
I hang my head low and go back into the library. Or actually, no. Okay. No.
Before you get back into the library itself.
Oh, I know that music.
Suddenly, you hear a voice coming from the shadow below you. Friend, why the long face?
Oh boy. It's you.
Satan.
Why do you sound so upset about it?
Well, I'm gonna be assuming you've been watching me, so you can probably guess.
Oh, I mean, I've been watching all of you since, well, really since the time we met.
Ooh.
Well, I have to make sure that you're all safe. I don't want anything bad to happen to any of you. After all,
Well,
you did the favor for me. I must return the favor.
Well, if you really want to be helpful, get me into that restricted books section.
And what do you think you will get from that?
I'm not sure. Knowledge. It's better than just wasting around time. Though I could do that. I am kind of hungry. But I at least
True.
want to try.
Truly. So, what is it about a regenerating arm that makes you think the lizard folk are involved?
Well, the scales are quite the indicator right there. Then, I have some experience with in the past.
Yes, but unfortunately for you, lizard folk haven't adapted that trait yet. Your time is a little too advanced.
Oh. Oh, no.
Oh yes, trust me, I am aware of your situation.
Oh, no.
But don't
no.
worry.
How do you know
That's
that?
the secret between both you and I.
Well, then. Okay, guys puts his hand, brow. Thinks for a second. Well, it seems that my efforts were in vain.
But
The
not.
only way.
Did you not hear the name of who has collected a number of books?
Oh, the Tories. That's a good
Yes.
point.
Because what else is a scaled creature that prohibits magical
An
properties?
armadillo.
Here,
Oh,
we build here on this
You got me
armadillo.
I truly enjoy all of you. But yes.
Do you know where the Tories might be? You're being more helpful than any of these bozos here at this campsite. I hope, and I hope they can hear me.
As a number of people are kind of giving you a weird side eye, mostly because you're talking to the ground. Well, obviously, they are where you came from, and they're home. You just haven't gone to look for them in the right places.
Oh, just as cryptic as ever.
Well, what else have you come to expect?
You to leave faster, because now my patience is wearing a little thin, but
Hey.
still not as thin as these bozos over here.
You know where to look. As you'll kind of see the shadow wave at you
Yeah.
as it will
Okay.
kind of dissipate away.
All right.
Wait, why is it? The song is cursed. I can't stop. It's not stopping.
I can't.
Oh, it's because thinking roll 20 kind of like temporarily DC'd.
Oh, great.
Okay, there goes that. Okay.
I
Go
heard
back to the last
something
song.
slam. And for a second there, I thought, Marshall, you punched your computer.
I did not. I will not do such a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly before I go back, is there any sort of standee or shop that sells any refreshments of any kind within the immediate area?
You kind of on your way back as you start
Not on the
heading back.
way back
Oh.
in the area.
You don't seem to see any stands or anything.
Well, just anything that sells like a water, coffee, or anything.
No
like
Star Platinums. No.
I want to bring my friend Cole on his long
The
trip.
Willenthal.
No, there's none of those.
Unfortunately, yes, you don't seem to see anything.
Darn, hold on, let me just double check.
At least right around you here.
Oh,
Orange
bummer.
leaf.
I was gonna bring Corey a coffee or something.
Corey.
Every wrong name.
I go to say goodbye to Corey. I walk up and say, hey, I'm trying to think of another K name. Kyle.
Caleb.
Not even in the right
Constance.
letter.
Hey, Colton. I hope you have a great rest of your shift. We should get dinner sometime.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah. Get it. Get it.
That's a 15.
Show him that guy is
You get that feeling again where you feel like something has tried to kind of peer into your head.
Kevin, is that you?
I don't know what are you. My name is Kevin, Kyle, any of these. My name doesn't even start with a K.
Corey.
Get out of here.
More like Coy. Have a great rest of your shift. All right, and then I walk away.
All right, as you head out, as you get back to the Tory household. I guess once you get to the household, what's your first goal here?
I would like to look for Mrs. Tory.
All right. You will pass by
The head
Bertha.
honcho.
You will pass by Bertha on your way in. She is managing the front garden.
Good afternoon or morning, whatever time it is.
Yes, I believe it is still morning. You left pretty early.
Yes, it is a wonderful day outside. Perfect day to make new friends. Like Mrs. Tory, where is...
Oh, she is up in her study. You can try to reach her. She tends to be a little unresponsive while she is in heavy research mode. But you can attempt. You just head down the right hallway here once you head in.
Okay, thank you so much, Bertha. Then I go.
All right, as you head in, you head kind of down the right hallway, I assume.
Yes, to where she is.
Yes. So as you head down, you inevitably kind of get down to the part of the hallway as Kinder noted the night before. As you go down the hallway, it becomes less and less like posh and nobility and much more Wizard's Tower-esque in terms of decor.
Interesting.
As you will get to a relatively large door near the end of the hallway.
Not.
You get no response.
I open the door.
It is open.
Okay. I walk right in.
You stumble into the door is kind of tough to open. Not entirely because it's a heavy door, but suddenly because you start to hear books and pages kind of crinkling as the door opens.
Oh. Someone needs a maid.
As Miss Emily Tory will kind of appear from what almost looks like a mountain of papers.
Emily, you're looking lovely today.
Please call me Mrs. Tory. Despite that you are all the companions of Victor, I don't know you that well. Which begs the question, why are you in here?
Well, Emily, I'm looking for a very important book that I think you might
Who
have.
are you? How are you? And why?
Don't test me, child.
Okay, Boomer.
I'll show you, Boomer.
I said that and my phone lit up because I thought I said, okay, Google.
That's what you get.
Mrs. Miss You're on. I would like a book, and I'm gonna go look for it.
What on?
The dragon people. I was gonna do a little more research into Kinder's, condition, but I went to the
Oh, you can-
library and some fool took all of the books on them. Oh wait, no, wait. Someone very cool. That's what I said.
Child, you're testing my patience, but I could use the assistant.
Oh,
Come, you will join me.
will my name be like? Will it be Miss Emily Torrey and Gaius Phallus? Like as the? I think my name should go first.
If I come
actually.
to reason to need to publish anything, I will consider it then.
Okay, as long as I'm
For now, I am trying to figure out a way for your companion's
Properly
arm to be the proper size. Which
Okay.
Kinder, it actually has grown about. It's about the length of to like your to what would normally be your elbow.
Oh,
Today.
good.
Hmm.
It has grown.
Cool.
As you kind of get through the rest of the day, as the rest of you now have your downtime set, and thus with the settings of your downtime, you can log that into your sheets if you haven't already. You don't need to log it really, guys, since you haven't. This isn't like a continual type. This isn't like getting a feat or a skill.
Yeah.
The next day will appear as you all kind of begin kind of meet at the table with Jed in the morning. All right, boys. Today is the day. You'll be heading out. Kinder, it is your arm is almost full length, slightly shorter, but getting close. Today is the day you'll be heading out. I have persuaded the missus to get you guys back to the docks for you all to head out. And once you're on that point, you're mercenaries. You're hired hands. Remember that. While you do work for your guild, especially you, son, you bear no direct relation to me, or, again, pointing at you, Victor, your house.
Of course, Father, I know better.
It's just mind your names as well, including Yuku.
Yeah, got it. I'll use some other nondescript tiefling name. Ethos. I'll use Ethos.
I appreciate
that
the
will-
humor. Unfortunately, this is not that time.
There, my bad.
This is important to trying to figure out what it is that my nefarious cousin has in store and what on earth is going on in Par actually. You'll have a limited amount of time once you are freed to leave the essentially the docking city. Then you are very much on your own. But you have to be very careful on who is watching you and what you are doing. If you directly attempt to piss off any officials, they can revoke your right to be able to leave, depending on where you are. So, make sure you're not caught sticking your nose into places they're not supposed to be.
Now
Inherently,
that's the
laws are
magic
still
word.
laws. You're granted much more leniency than what exists for any of my employees. but you're not granted diplomatic immunity.
Bummer.
Quite. This would be much easier if that was the case. So, be very careful. I can't say I would have any idea how the orcs have transitioned into their somewhat new ruling society. That's for all of you to somewhat find out. Any questions before you all head off?
None at the moment.
Guys, you kind of see a sight that has become relatively familiar to you now at this point, as you all kind of see a somewhat ragged, Madame Tori enter the room.
Emily, nice to see you again.
I look at Gaius like he's grown a third head.
Her glare that she gave you the first time is ever more darting this time. As a lack of sleep has not given her much better of a sense of humor.
That Claire will soften up one day, I bet. I hope.
I look over at Victor in a panic.
My hand is on my dagger, I swear.
You're pushing it, guys.
First name basis.
My name on the
We're
boat.
getting closer, halfway at least.
This knife, his throat, I swear.
Victor, we can't have you convicted for another murder.
Not here. We'll wait till we're in international water.
They won't know he did it if I teleport his body away. Otherwise, anyway.
Oh no, they're all working
Spirit
together.
Father,
No.
All right.
we'll do them in like the
All
Gangley
of
brothers.
you come to the front with me. I'll get you all to the port city. I'll be getting you right to the port where we left from. Effectively, you will just turn around right away, and you are going to look for a half-elf with the Tory crest on his chest.
Do we know what his name is?
She kind of looks over to Jet. Who did I put in charge of that ship? He'll let you know. You'll see him. There's not going to be many people with bearing big marks of the chest or of our crest. You'll know him when you see him.
It is reserved for only those who are worthy, you know.
But it's enough that I don't remember who I put where.
Right. Because why would this be easy?
It'll be easy in the fact that you should see him. Unless,
All right.
especially any child of mine. Right, Victor?
Indeed, Father.
Precisely. Off you go then.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Surely there's a better way to travel than teleportation.
I don't know. I find it quite enjoyable after your stomach settles down.
Son, what's cheaper is cheaper. Now off with you.
I can't argue with that logic.
As you guys kind of start to file out to the front courtyard, Emily's kind of ragged look, not looking much better.
Auntie, do you need to rest?
Quite. I'll get to that. Kinder, I'm glad to see that your arm is progressing quite rapidly.
Yeah, I think in a short amount of time, it might actually grow back to its full length again.
Yes, if I had to guess by this rate, I would probably say it'll be full by tomorrow.
I'm hoping it'll be even longer. Won't that be fun?
On the plus side,
Kinder's
I do believe I am
side-eyes.
getting somewhere. I believe I will have a result by the time you come back.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Well, partly you can fake your very rude compatriot here.
Oh, Gaius isn't too terrible once you get to know him. He's just very, charismatic.
He just unfortunately
Thank you.
He just unfortunately presumes too much for his standing. Now, have a good time. hopefully you all make it back safe and sound.
Till next time, Auntie.
So long.
Thank you for your hospitality, ma'am.
As you will kind of all feel yourselves kind of snap away. You kind of rediscover yourselves in the sorry, the port city. You
I
all
vomit.
rolled in on the ship.
I just vomit off the dock.
I'm just like tightly holding on to my hat. Is it over? Is it over?
Oh,
Finally, we're gone. All right. Oh, fucking hell. All right, where's this prick we're meeting?
I should have not eaten that bacon before going on teleportation ride. Okay.
You know we teleport every time we go to my parents' place. Why do you always eat so much?
That's food, man. I need to get the gains.
Yeah, well, guess what? Now you have to eat more.
I do. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm such a conflicted character.
All right, let's go looking for the crest on a half elf.
All right, make
Not
a
that there's too
perception
many of
roll
those
if
running
any
around
of
the
you would
city.
like to look.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the roll.
I do the roll as well.
Natural 20.
I got a 21.
Nice.
Anybody else?
Perception?
Yes.
Ooh, it's a 21 as well.
Yeah.
Victor, are you going to be
Yeah, I got people for that. I'm good.
Do you still want to attempt it as a character, or
Yeah, damn it, you raised a good point. Yeah, go ahead.
okay? Franny, roll for Victor.
Oh. Sure. That's 14 base.
All right. You all kind of start looking. Almost at the same time, all of you are just kind of like, oh, hey, look. There's a half-elven man with the toy crest on his giant half-plate.
Found him.
That seems like a dead giveaway. That away.
All right. Looks like we found our. Looks like we found our gentleman. Oh God, it's not over.
Crew, don't you know magic? How does this keep affecting you?
I know very little, and even that I don't understand. It's getting lessons we can. But yes, we head on over. I think.
All right, as you guys head over, you kind of get close to the.
Yep,
he seems
I'm
to
gonna
be.
just purposely stride towards him.
He seems to be he's kind of, you can kind of see him directing at different people as they're loading the final, seemingly the last few containers onto the ship.
Good day, fellow. It seems we are destined to meet you here by my father's orders.
What? Oh, Master Tori. It is good to see you. I have not seen you in quite some time. How is your training going?
Quite well. It's me and my compatriots here. We've been on many voyages and journeys together. Almost fought the frost giants, but you know, he ran away at the sight of us.
Yes.
Make a deception roll.
I think I'm going to be sick now.
Go for it.
Dylan, roll his deception for Mr. Victor.
Yeah, why not? That's gonna be a base 15.
Ooh.
All right, what's that in here?
If it's Vic, he probably has expertise on it.
Yeah, he's probably. I would be shocked if he had a bad deception score.
Well, we'll find out.
Heck, mine's pretty decent.
It has to be for you.
Well, it sometimes can depend. Some rogues will put more focus in intelligence rather than charisma. Not the case this time, but you know. Especially if you're a trickster rogue, then it makes more sense. Or arcane
Why
trickster.
use big words when few do good?
Wait,
It's very true.
incredibly true.
Mhm.
Well, yes, as you'll kind of see him kind of eyes wide and like, wow, I am glad to hear that things are going very well for all of you then. Who are the lot of you then, your companions here?
Gentlemen, you could introduce yourselves, or shall I do it for you?
Also, Gaius and Victor, you guys are not level 5.
Oh, I should level up.
Give me a minute.
I'll just do it after this session, unless there's going to be.
Yeah, you never know.
I never know.
Man, it's no fucking problem for me. It's just, boom, done. I got nothing.
Guess we'll see.
Except the higher sneak attack and a higher proficiency bonus.
Yes.
You bet your ass.
You
I don't get
he
anything.
does kind of look at you, Kinder, in your other arm.
Oops.
You all seem quite unique.
That's a good word for it.
Oh, yes.
I take a step forward and I hold up my hand. The name's Kubrick. You can call me Ku.
Nice to meet you. That part of the. I'm reminded suddenly of Victor. What is the assumed name
Yes.
you will be taking, so that I am aware by the time that we make port?
Oh, he's trusted. All right, it's cool enough, but you may call me Ku.
I would maybe suggest taking a different name, or at least, I guess, if anything, maybe a last name.
That's true. That's fair.
As I am also aware of, now that you bring up the name, yes, I am not surprised that you are still with him, Prince.
Yeah. One guy's gotta make sure he gets a fair share in the spoils of.
Small amount of leg on your
Yes,
end there.
I've actually given this some thought. I believe my last name shall be Torius.
What about the first name?
We'll leave that at Victor. Victor Torius.
Sir, may I suggest that
Boy.
the captains over in Par are not as dumb as you may think.
Very well. Give me some time. I'll come up with a different one.
Well, let me know once you get the chance, and if anything, maybe write it down.
And your name, sir? One more time.
Yes, I am. I apologize. I didn't greet myself to the rest of you. My name is Dias Everwind.
Dias Everwind.
Dias
Everwind. All right. Well, Dice. For now on.
That's similar to my name.
That's true.
We should be friends.
It's
You're a
kinda like
half
the creepy, like, we should be friends.
Nice. Say like a cool badass.
Because everything I do is cool.
Right.
Sure, from your perspective, that's what you think. Well, each of you can at least ready yourselves on the boat, as we're just wrapping up touches. And you guys can we'll take you guys to we'll get you guys to your cabins. Now, given that this is a cabin or more of a cargo ship, unfortunately there isn't much for a lot of board, but you will have to share amongst at least two of you will have to share. You'll have to split rooms with each other, but on the plus side, you will not all have to be in one room.
It's fine. We've seen each other naked. It's all good.
Yes, but I need my space. I'm sure all understand.
Unfortunately, sir, you will still have to share a room with at least one other person. The rooms are not compatible enough for 3 in one room. They're built to be shared, and therefore it's the way that they must be utilized.
Do I take the shedder? Do I take the noisy one? Or do I take the smelly one? Choices.
You all can decide that as we get on the boat here.
I nudge at Kinder. He thinks you're smelly.
Well, and he thinks wrong.
He thinks is wrong.
Right. Then, right. Kubrick Tilly. I'll go by that name.
Sure, just keep it in mind.
It keeps it simple for everybody else. Everybody's gonna keep calling me Koo. At least now I'm a different Koo.
Sure. Just I guess be careful. As you guys kind of start getting
all now address me on this voyage and therefore after, while we're in this new town, as Thorn.
Thorn. Got it. Well, the lot of you heading up. As you begin to get up the ship, you notice this is quite a larger ship than the one you came in on.
Oh.
Seemingly one that requires much more cargo, and as a result is a decently sized ship. One, if needed, this potentially was possibly once used for certain pilgrimages. Could carry a number of either people and at this point at least cargo.
Oh, it's a caravan ship.
Or both.
So, depending. Today it seems though, as you've been insinuated, the primary transport is cargo. Much less in terms of people outside of the crew. All right.
Are there any notable people in the crew once we go on?
In terms of sailors, it seems to be kind of it seems to be somewhat interestingly, I guess, predominated by half elves.
I'll be right back. I have to go to the bathroom.
Humans almost kind of sit in the minority, from what you have seen.
Huh. Someone else got really busy a couple of years ago.
Yes, and my father played no small part in that. We used to be ridiculed and looked down upon.
Well, your father does a lot to hire those of our kind. Many years ago, I wouldn't hold this type of position.
You see, he does quite a lot for the community.
Quite.
It's fair. I guess I didn't think about that one.
Despite his, I've known his father for quite some time now. Despite his brash and interesting nature, he has priorities, and they are good ones.
Like money.
Sure.
All right. Cool.
All right. As he will inevitably kind of show you the direction towards the cabins, I guess now is your time to decide who will room with who.
Who wants you and Kinder take a room together, as you've apparently been teaching each other skills? I shall room with Gaius and keep a close eye.
All right. You're a braver man than I am.
Yes, well, let's just say if he dares disrespect my mother again, we may not be seeing him.
That's fair. You know, there might be one death. By the time we get there, we might become a 3-man band.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
If anyone asks, we always were.
True. Ken, are you alright with that arrangement?
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking about what my secret code name is going to be. But yeah, that'll work. That should work out fine.
Let's see. Yours should be something cool.
I was thinking, I wanted it to be something that isn't going to be easily detectable as a code name, but still has a lot of like mass appeal to it. So I was thinking like Kimbra Halsey. What do you think about that?
I think we might need to workshop this a little bit more. But it's not a bad suggestion. You look like
Well, thankfully, we'll have plenty of time to think about this on the voyage.
That's true, yeah. You do look like an arson to me, but I don't know why.
Well, on the plus side,
Carly
compared
Rae
to-
Hansen. How about that?
As you
I think
guys
that's
kind
our
of
winner.
begin to get going on the plus side, you will in fact get significantly less
Buffer.
responsibilities on this type of ship versus the
In
other
your
one,
case, yes.
as there is a lot more crew to go around,
Oh.
and as
Perfect,
such,
even less for me to do.
this ship, despite it's interesting is it moves at a relatively similar pace as and again, inevitably Gaius will have to find this solution. But let's see. Let's see. Well, since the two of you are here and can roll, Kinder and Ku, just roll me a d20.
Sure. I got a 7.
14.
All right. Let me do. That's not the one I would like to open that on. I love when random calculators just appear on over somebody's webcam for a moment.
Yes.
Ooh, all right. It looks like you guys will be allowed 5 days of downtime.
Oh.
Oh. Bit.
What should be our total now?
I got 10 from what my
Let's see,
notes
so
told
you
me.
added 1 from whatever you had last, which I can double check what's on your sheet here, Tori. If
I
you
don't know
have
if
it.
I was.
No, I got that. Last time I checked, it was at 9. So
All
that'd
right.
be
I don't know if
10,
I was
and then
So
plus
marking.
you're at 15
down.
total now because you had +1 from yesterday,
got it.
and then you have +5 for this trip.
Was I marking them?
Well, so you have to make a call as to what you were going for, yeah. In terms of what you're doing for your downtime.
Okay.
The downside of your kind of slightly unfortunate extended absence was potentially running into the issue.
Gotcha.
All right. Yes. So you'll get that benefit, which I imagine will put you guys in pretty good standing for you, whatever your skills, at least at this point, or whatever you were learning.
Yeah, for sure.
Soon.
Where's this Phil?
To learn the actual thing?
Yes, I imagine you guys are getting relatively closer.
No, how much is it?
Believe what depends on what you're doing. So what are you doing?
Trying to learn the magic initiative feat for sorcery.
I'm teaching him the magic initiative feat using spells that I know already.
Yeah, I'm teaching him some weapon proficiencies.
Right. Let's see. then. That's
Like the javelin, which will let him throw boomerangs, and maybe even a short sword or a long sword or a rapier.
okay.
The possibilities
Throw a
are
long sword.
limited.
Probably a short sword.
What if I tape the boomerang to the long sword and then throw it like a javelin?
You are.
Then you just have a javelin.
No, it'll come back, so you better watch out.
It's gonna come back.
Let me find hold on something.
It has to. That's how physics
and,
work.
And then I take a
Double
bunch
check.
of them and I throw them all at one time and it becomes summon sword.
And then you take a
I
gun.
need more power.
I need
I'm
power.
pretty sure at that point you're going to rip a hole in the fabric of time and space. So,
But I'll be
be careful with that.
Might as well go for it.
Kinder's just like, useless, Victor. Useless.
Muda muda.
Foolishness.
Oh,
Foolishness?
That's what I'm
Right.
seeing right there.
that's right. Hold on. Let me find something. Double check something here.
Mother?
Mother.
I'll worry about that later.
Mother!
All right, I'm just double checking certain downtime stuff here.
Why isn't this working?
I'm more double checking certain.
I'm
like,
just making
I-
stuff.
different things have different
Are you
time
supposed
rules.
to
'Cause
play
I know
Dark
there
Soul
was
with light?
I believe for things with feats, I believe I just set one up, but I'm trying to
Come on,
double
then.
check mine versus something else because I remember there was something when I initially put the downtime rules that I kind of felt like there was an issue with it. And now, since it's been some time since then, I have to kind of recollect what part of it exactly it was. Let's
Okay.
see, I believe
So
it
while you're
had to
figuring
do.
that out,
Here we
Bennett.
are. This is the one I'm looking for.
Kinder is trying to figure out what his super secret code name is going to be. So I need you to
Mhm.
vote. Do you think it should be either Kimbra Halsey or Carly Rae Hansen?
Carly Rae Hansen.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, it looks like it would have a decent amount of time, but it doesn't really specify. Okay, so let's. Oh, okay. So let's see. So you're about. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's what I went based on. So yeah, so it takes about 10 work weeks for this type of thing.
For any kind of feat.
Do they yeah, or like essentially for training. I'm trying to see if I can find something that denotes another thing of like. Okay, so it's 5 days. So you have 3 work weeks if you have 15 total. So you're 3 out of 10 work weeks. Stuff takes time, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes a while to get these things right. So yes. So yeah, guys, you'll have to figure that one out in terms of what exactly you're going to be going for.
I'm working for. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, which has a number of things. You can spend certain aspects of downtime to go look for magical items. Obviously, it depends on when that downtime comes in. Like for example, so research is technically one of them. So like you used a day for one of your research, which by the way I didn't do this. So I should have you. I'll just have you do it right now. Can I have you roll a? I believe it's going to be some type of. I think it's going to be based on a D20. Where's the? Okay, so just roll me a D20.
I just rolled with D20 and I got 19.
Okay. So from your end of the, by the way, so from your end of the research, one of the things you started to begin to look into was were certain dragon cults that existed in a number of mountain areas.
Okay.
You didn't get super far, since she didn't have a full drawing of the symbol, and she had been trying to make almost the symbol come through the blood that she has collected, but she wasn't getting any luck. But that was where you guys kind of left off. Roll me a d6.
A d6. That's a 6.
Okay. You are good then. Alright, so that's just that. Alright, so yes. Then otherwise, in terms of things that you can do now, outside of it, so in terms of your 14 remaining days that you have on your docket,
Yeah.
you can do things like attempting to maybe trying to like, if you have a kit, you can find ways to maybe try like crafting items. If you have like resources available to you, which depending on whatever kit you have between both ships could have been around to you. You can try inscribing to spell scrolls.
Oh, okay.
You can do training for things like what I have put it up to outside of getting a language or proficiency in a tool. I have also added on to that feats and skills.
Okay.
But getting the issue with the feat and the skill is you need people to train it for you.
Train you. Yeah, okay.
Which potentially can cost money unless you are doing the benefit of what your party members are doing, which is they are learning from each other.
Yeah. Okay.
On the downside, that means when they're using their downtime to learn their feats, they are tied up with each other.
I can train you to be strong.
Unfortunately, not while you are training for your thing, and not while he is training for his thing. Because that's the other downside, is if either of you decide to do your downtime to anything else, the other is prohibited from doing their training on the other thing. Because you're without your instructor. So, like, when you guys are learning those skills, you have to do it together. Or you don't do them at all. As a note. Reminder note, since obviously this is something that doesn't come up too often, I feel like, in a lot of games.
I honestly didn't even know it was a thing.
Downtime is a rare breed. Now, with feats and skills, it doesn't exist, but I've added that because to me, it's more it's something that can be really interesting, and it can make you work for something that can actually really benefit you in the end. Especially if you're a class that doesn't really learn more skills as they grow.
Yeah.
Or you have
How much downtime would it take for me to learn how to use extra attack?
Let's see, you'll need to get 5 levels in a class that will grant you that ability. Unfortunately for you, it's not a feat.
Or become a monk.
Well, like I said, 5 levels to do a class that allows that.
Stab.
Yeah. Or just dual wield.
True, bonus action. To be fair, unless you're deciding to use your bonus action for a cunning action, which is very dependent, like, inherently being a dual-wielding rogue is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I need my bonus action for my insightful fighting, though. That gives me out a lot of jam.
Right. Yes. That is right.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
It is, but it does tie up your bonus action, which would
It
prevent you
does,
from your
but only for that one enemy,
dual-wielding.
though.
Also, potentially, I guess, inherently something you could do, Gaius, is you also could just turn to offering yourself
As
for
a
work.
teacher. Gotcha. Could I make sick bank?
Offering yourself, huh?
Huh?
Could I make sick bank?
Depending on what it is you're working for,
And what I'm offering.
how well you do it.
Is there a corner on a boat?
I mean, you can offer yourself for work between both of the ships that you're on.
Gotcha.
We'll get you some scales. We'll call you a siren.
I'll have to think about it a little bit more.
All
I
right.
think.
It's
Well,
fine.
otherwise,
40% gold, they treat you right.
inevitably, as you guys as you kind of go along in the final day, you notice that it's the sunny days, despite though the colder weather in this kind of part of the ocean. The sunny days have kind of gone away as it feels that you're almost entering an area that is kind of beginning to experience what is the signs of winter. Or the sun is kind of relatively consistently clouded, and the air has an inevitable chill that is impossible to ignore. You notice at this point that the ship has very notably slowed in its pace, as it is a little easier to see. Every now and then you can kind of see parts of ice and floating in the sea. There are very few and far between, but every now and then you can see one. Aye, all right. As Dias comes to each of you, kind of rounding you up. All right. So, if I remember correctly, so you, Master Victor, you are. Remind
Thorn
me.
in your side, please.
I'm just gonna stick with keeping you at Thorn, and I'll leave you to the last name part. And then, what is the full name? Because I would rather not call you Ku in front of them.
Kubrick Tilly.
Kubrick, got it. All right. So we've got Thorn,
Missed
Kubrick,
opportunity
Gaius,
for
and
Stanley,
Kinder.
honestly.
Got it. Good. All right.
Curly Ray, sir. Carly Ray Hansen.
I thought your name was Kinder.
Right, but we're supposed to use like fake names, right? That's what we're doing.
Are you nobility of anywhere? More importantly, of anywhere that is anywhere near the jurisdiction of the Republic of Dalara?
He is in here. I point to his chest.
In my heart.
Oh, thanks, Coop.
No problem, man.
I laughed.
I mean,
I laughed hard,
Kubrick, damn it.
pointed him and laughed.
Well, very sweet. It is unnecessary. They will not know you. They will not know who either of you are. If you
I'll
wish to
call
go
you
by your
Chris
code
Hansen.
name, I guess that is your call. But it is unnecessary.
You got me there.
Kendra, what was your fake name again?
You win this time.
Okay.
It's Carly Ray Hansen.
You're sticking with it? I will be
Yeah.
Carly Ray Hansen, damn it.
Maybe Kinder really just wants to be Carly Ray Hansen this one time.
You know clearly? Alright.
You know, maybe we all have dreams, okay?
Alright. Well, each
Gaius,
make sure
anything
all
you
of your
wish to be
things are
called?
ready. Make sure each of your things are ready, as we will be hitting within a couple hours. We will likely hit to shore, as he will kind of point out into the distance as the sights of land become ever clearer. Orkland is an unforgiving one, so be careful with your wordings around many of them. Even the Delarans.
All right.
As
Be fine.
go ahead.
We'll be fine. I'm just saying, we'll be fine.
All right, as you guys begin to head down, the kind of crate comes down. You kind of follow behind Dias as another half-elven man in a full plate of armor comes up, helmet kind of resting in his arm. Ah, you're the Tory ship, right? correct. These, however, are hires from the what was it? The Guild of Thunderbane. What was it again?
No, you'll be correct. That would be it.
Can I see your? He kind of picks his nose up. I see your emblems.
Right. Yeah, here's mine.
So you just kind of, you don't have to hand them. You can just kind of show them.
Flash it.
All right. Each of you check out. What are you four doing here? What are your names? Oh, well, this is as Dias will kind of almost wanting to interject. Well, this is the names are this is Thorn. We have Kubrick.
Hello.
Kubrick. That's how it's pronounced. Sorry.
Carly, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Gaius.
Sure. Yes.
What do you? Are you gonna answer for what they're doing here?
We're
What?
simply here on guild business.
Which is what? If you don't
Guild
mind me
business.
asking.
Are you with the guild?
I'm with the Republic of Dalara, and I am here to protect its military interests. Just because you're from a guild doesn't mean you're not here to disrupt any of our any part of our jurisdiction here. We are assisting power in its transition to a republic. We would rather not have people trying to, especially hired hands, try to get in our way. So just state your business and we
Well,
can move on.
I would just like to say thank you for giving us that much credit. It's actually welcoming, to be honest with you. Most people just let us go through on our way, but man, you really think the four of us could do anything that can really interfere with this transition?
You came from a Tory ship. I trust nothing.
That's fair, and that's a good sentiment. Just trust in the
Honestly,
fact
I
that
heard the Tories were actually pretty cool guys. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I thought they were, doing real good work.
us and the Tories agree on
Dias
one
kind of nudges you, Victor, like
They could probably pay more taxes, but it's
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there.
I've heard they're very unkind to people they're not, close friends.
Right. I just look
Right.
at the man. The
All right,
Tories-
look, we've all heard things about the Tories, but what this man's looking for is why we're here.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
If you ask Slow Tie, it's
True. Sir, there's one thing we do agree with the Tories about is that money is everything. We're just here on a job. We're just here to make a quick gold and get out.
and what is that? It could be a price in somebody's head. There's a lot of quick gold that can be had in your line of work.
Is there any local that you know of? You might be able to, while we're here.
What, you came here. You must have came here on a job.
This is a question to the DM.
Yes.
All right, yeah, we've beat
What was
around the
that?
bush enough. Nobody knows what we're doing here.
What was our established cover story again? It's been a hot minute.
You were
I've been
hired
missing two
just to help
sections.
them.
All right, I'm kind
You were
of.
hired just to make sure they travel through the water safely. So then,
Yep.
there and back. So then, while you're here, you can just pick up a job.
I look at the
So
man.
you're close. You were very close to what you were supposed to be doing. Your
Alright,
cover
I
story.
look at the man. I look at the man.
I was hoping maybe you'd remember.
Yeah,
just
I'm
I was
looking
really,
at-
I really wanted
Not
to
a
drag out.
chance in hell.
No, I just
No.
really wanted to drag out up until the question came of like, all right, seriously, what are we here for?
What do we actually do?
I was really dragging it out.
I'm just looking at the man. Listen, we're just hired as typical ship guards. They're in dock, they're delivering, and they're doing their thing. We're just supposed to be here when they decide to go away. Oh, if you can think of any possible contracts we can take out, that'll be much appreciated. You'll be doing us a favor.
He raises a point. Dias will come up. It's going to take us a few days to make this cargo swap, despite that you still are reporting less taking back than we are dropping off. Yeah, and it'll stay that way. All right. If once you guys try to leave the camp, you'll have to flash those badges again if you get hired to do anything outside. Who knows what I guess I can't decide what anybody's going to try to get you to do.
I know
Who
Kinder in
knows?
here is
You
a
might
big
get a-
fan of flashing things.
Yeah, you might get a job or two. So, who knows?
Mainly
Hey,
wizard
you
hats.
seem like a respectable fellow. Let me ask you two questions. One, who do we talk to for getting a job? And two, who do we talk to get a drink around here?
Please tell me they're the same person.
I like the way you're thinking, Stanley.
But I guess potentially, in terms of the first question, it's just ask anybody, I guess. Like, ask anybody that looks like they know what they're doing.
How about you? You look like you know what you're doing.
While you're correct, I have nothing to offer to hired hands at the moment. I'm busy trying to manage this shipment right now. So my hands are currently tied, and I don't have much in terms of other help that you can provide. But there are a number of people in the town here, so who knows?
Now, about my
Let's
second
move.
question.
Yeah, it's your second question. There's not much, since this is primarily kind of an encampment almost, if you will. We don't really have too much. Mostly, there's a lot of. We got a lot more in terms. So we have one kind of social place. You'll find it is the biggest building down the road here. It's kind of the only place that, and mostly it's the half orcs that head over there. Those, despite the transitioning phase that we are involved in here, those orcs just can't seem to stay away from the sauce.
Horks?
Half orcs.
Oh, you shortened the term. I like it.
You
See,
talk
this
about
man's-
it. You talk about them enough. You take what shortcuts you can get.
I look over, guys. See, the man's intelligent. I told you. I'm like, sir. I hold out my hand to him. It's been a pleasure working with you. And then if he does he take my hand?
Kind of looks at you. He'll extend his hand as well and kind of grab it.
All right. Once he
Fucking
grabs my
bastards.
Once he grabs my hand, he'll probably feel the gold coin inside of there. Now just look at him. Is there anybody we should, keep an eye out for, just to avoid?
Nope.
No.
The throw off the table always comes in good stance.
Nice.
Let's see here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's see. Well, it's still this, so. Guys. Or not guys. Kook.
Yes.
You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you
What the
very
shit?
quickly feel the hilt of a dagger hit your head.
Wow.
Oh.
You'll be good to make sure things like you don't be doing things like that around here, boy.
Fantastic. Well.
I think I'm gonna like it in this town.
And that is where we will end our session for today. Thank you for joining us. And
Hey.
join us next week, where we will return for another consecutive week. It's like
As
a
we
Christmas
fill out our
miracle.
W-2s.
It's not even Christmas. Thank you for joining us.
Have
you
a
next
good
time.
night. Lovely.